No. I don't really have a lot of experience making stabby things. But you know what? It's an experimentation channel, so we're going to try it. Funny little fact, I actually don't have any resin in the shop right now, but I do have this, which was a failed pour from my lens. So it seems as good a thing as any to try to make a knife out of. It's really thin at the edge, so this is about as far over as it can go, which means that I will only get about that much of a knife. I'm going to need a better pencil. I found a fuchsia Sharpie, as if to say, I'm going to stab you, but it'll be fun. This bandsaw has quite literally seen it all. Salt, sugar, crayons, HDPE, epoxy, and even the rare stuff called wood. He's just jumped up and hit me right in the safety glasses. Which is why we wear it. All the knife making videos I've ever seen tells me the next step is the belt sander. I don't know, I'm getting a little hesitant to push this button. I really don't know what I'm doing. And relatively speaking, it's pointy and sharp. I've got a work sharp that I use for my chisels, and its grits go from 400 to, I think it's like, this is 1,000, so 400, 800 on the other side, and then this is 1,000, and this is like 3,000 or something. Plastic doesn't like this kind of heat. I don't know, I don't feel like it's any sharper than it was. So I think that might be burning the edge a little bit. It is clearer, for sure. It is getting clearer, but I think we might be losing that edge. And I wasn't really sure it was going to hold an edge anyway. Now the end is extremely pointy. It is very stabby right now. Alright, so I wanted to give it a little bit more of a shape as well to the handle. I think that's got a nice look. It looks more like a completed knife. I was going to add a handle to it, but I want the clear knife. I want it to be all about the resin. So let's see if we can get it to cut. There is one section, one tiny little section, right there. There is one tiny little cross section of this knife that is actually mildly sharp. And by mildly sharp, I mean you could totally attack an unwitting banana with this. Or you could probably stab Magneto. I went back to the work sharp and stopped at 400 grit this time. I felt like that was the place I had the best edge, and everything else was making it worse. There it goes. Tore on the second part, but it cut again in the front. I'm getting cuts. It's not a beautiful cut, but it is cutting. I mean, let's be honest, it's not going to replace steel as a material anytime soon. For the fact that this was at 1.2 liquids that were then poured and mixed, to have it go through and actually cut paper is pretty dang impressive. Can you make a knife out of resin? Yeah, it's clearly a success. Alright, so I've done it. I've made an epoxy knife. It did cut paper, if only momentarily. So thank you very much for watching, and thank you for your suggestions. And it is an experimentation show, so every once in a while I like to do something silly. Yeah, it's pretty much all the time.